Hi, Aaron. Great to be with you. By the way, your pronunciation was great. You're doing just fine.
All right, I was very worried because there were a few things in there. I said, well, at least John will politely correct me. All right, well, you've spent a lot of time in China. You know Xi Jinping. He has praised you. What can you tell us about him?
Well, I can tell you that he's stepping into the forefront of China's political leadership structure at a time of enormous change. And I think it's important for people here in the United States to realize that we're seeing politics play out here in the United States, while at the same time politics is playing out in China. They'll have the 18th Party Congress in October later this year, during which event you're going to see probably 70% of the top 200 leaders in China change, which I think is the most sweeping change I can remember in recent history. So Xi Jinping, who is the leader of the so-called fifth generation since Mao Zedong established the country in 1949, will be leading a young group that is forged not by the revolutionary fervor of his parents, but more by the Cultural Revolution, where he was exiled during those years and spent some very, very difficult years in the northeastern part of China. Yeah. Because of that, he's able to interact, I think, a lot more with the peasant class in China. We have to remember that China, from a per capita income standpoint, is still 99th in the world. You've got 700 million people who are living in poverty in China. I think he's got the kind of personality to relate and interact very well with all people of China. But in the meetings that I had with him, I can tell you, Aaron, that he is confident, that he connects extraordinarily well with people. He is very well briefed. He's gone out of his way in recent years to bone up on economics and trade, knowing full well that these are the issues that are going to determine whether or not the United States and China are able to get through the years to come. And what is noteworthy, I think, is he's a very, very adroit political operator. By that, I mean he's been able to check all of the boxes that one needs to check to be successful in Chinese politics. He's been able to check the People's Liberation Army box because he once worked for a senior vice premier responsible for China's military as a special assistant. So he has some credibility there, unlike Hu Jintao, who has had a very, I think, difficult and challenging relationship with the military. He's been able to check the party box because of his family roots. His father, as you mentioned, was a senior vice premier before he was exiled by Mao Zedong. But he's also been able to check this box called the Princeling box, which is a very interesting one. These are the sons and daughters of the revolutionary heroes, the party cadre, the party elite. And they have enormous clout in Chinese politics. He's been able to, no doubt, broker deals and carve out a kind of relationship that has allowed